Hoax. 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 Hoax.
Hey everybody. So, of course, most people are catching up on the fact that, or realizing that this individual in the elevator is not the same as the Kenneka that we've been shown. So, in this video, I want to point out a few things that were kind of overlooked. We're going to start with the audio, which was a phone call to, I'm assuming, some sort of vlogger when the case first dropped. So we'll watch the video and I will insert the commentary in between and or after.
Blurred out his name for his privacy reasons, and that's about it. I'm going to play the audio and you decide what you think of it. And here we go.
It's a hotel party.
Yeah.
Stuff like these not like, don't get me wrong, she look mad good. I'm gonna keep it a buck with. She's not no city like upclass, but like she's a regular hood bitch.
Yeah.
You feel me? So like she get high, she pop pills. You feel me? And she's a eater, like you feel me? Like the bitch do what she do. You feel me? So like it's not that she get ran or get trained ran on the bus. You feel me? Bitch, she go to hotel parties. It's 4 in the morning. Now I'm trying to go home.
Yeah, true.
So they was gonna stay at the crib. They was gonna stay at the room that night. Shit. But the bitch was playing. She was in the room the whole time. She put one thing that I know might not lie because she tells me part of the video to go watch. That I kid you not, before I knew who this was. Like everybody acts like I'm from Chicago, I'm in Brooklyn. They're like, you know that bitch? I'm dumb. Like I don't really give a fuck about that. I'm like, nah, I don't know her. There's 3 million people there. But when my little cousin called me like, yo, you see what happened to Shorty? I'm like, Shorty, who is that? He tell me, like, that's mama, that Ruthanne's granddaughter and all that. So I'm like, word, she grew up.
All right, just to double back on what he's saying and to reiterate. He says that his little cousin, who he's referring to as a female, because he's saying she, sent him this video, right? And that he thought, well, that this chick that we are believing or led to believe that is Kenneka is a regular hood bitch. She pops pills that, she's not necessarily sedity. It's 4 a.m. She's not trying to go home. And then he says that she was in the room the whole time. Now, that's really interesting, and we'll come back to that, because who is she was in the room the whole time? We would already be led to believe that the so-called Kenneka is already in the room at the whole time, but maybe he's referring to someone else. So then he says when he was sent the video and he was watching it before he knew who it was, he was dubbing her, basically saying, fuck it, because he doesn't know who it is. Then his cousin realizes, and says to him, and he says something to the effect of, oh, mama, and then he stops, and then he says, Ruthanne's granddaughter. And then that's when he realizes who the chick is, the so-called Kenneka. So once he realizes who this is, my question is, who the hell is Ruthanne? Because in the obituary that they have for Kenneka Jenkins online that I saw via video here on YouTube, there's 2 grandmothers listed, but neither one of them's name is Ruthanne. So who is the female that he's referring to? Then he says the chick who we are all referring to as Kenneka, that she was fucking with one dude, 4 other dudes got on the bed, started kissing on her, then she ducks off. And that there's a video of her by the front desk after that. If you want to hear this particular video, it's on Lion's Ground and it's nice and clear there. Again, that's Lion's Ground on YouTube. Also, in the next clip, it gets cut off, so I edited it so that we can get the end of the conversation. If you listen to the whole video, you'll know what I'm talking about, and then I'll come back with more commentary.
I'm saying the best friend that's posting all the pictures saying, like, find her and all this stuff like that, so she wasn't posting it?
No, she no,
Malifa.
My best friend and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about all the third party pages and shit. She like, I thought she was right behind me. Like, when that shit is early. You feel like, the situation when they went left outside, they did mad. They wouldn't link niggas outside. You feel me? Like, they didn't just go outside. They wouldn't link niggas. If you deep in the beginning of the video, they, she's telling them, like, where to park in the parking lot. Like, she's telling them to go to the parking lot.
Oh.
They went and met niggas, all type of shit. You feel me? He got them on the comeback. You feel me? Like I say, they regular bitches. You feel me? So they howl, feel, they drunk, shut the fuck. They went to their links. You feel me?
So, like, why Manif, whatever her name is, so, like, oh, he get hung down with.
Okay, so basically to reiterate what he's saying in a nutshell, he says that there's no freezer in the basement, that it's allegedly on the main floor near the lobby, that somebody, he says that the nigga was recording her by the front desk, that after the alleged almost, or what can we say, where he says that the four guys were kissing on her. He says after that she went to smoke. Then he says that not all those pages and not everything that's being written is actually Monifa. Then he mentions Maya and says that Maya believes that Monifa has something to do with it. And then he says, dude was caught in the act. Something about it being a coincidence, and then money was involved. There was some kind of plea deal. And this is what he's saying. I'm just summarizing what was said in this audio that we just listened to. Then he says, oh, the same guy that owns the club also owns the organ donating spot. He goes on to say that homegirl was passed out, this alleged Kenneka, and they thought that she was already dead. Then he tells her to peep game. Only Monifa knows what's going on. Then he says he goes back to saying that they tried to run her. I believe he's referring to run a train on who we believe is Kenneka. He goes, she went down to the shit. So I don't know if he's referring to Monifa going down in the hotel somewhere, possibly. Then he says something about it happening in the room, reiterates about the payment deal. Then he says that she passed out from E-pills. All right, then get this shit. He says that they go in the parking lot to link with niggas, right? So I'm sure some of us have seen the video footage with the parking lot that suddenly shows what looks like Monifa, Shemaya, and Bree running like bats out of hell in that parking lot. And then he mentions that Monifa says something like, oh, well, she thought that Kenneka was right behind her. Now, that's the only time that it makes sense that perhaps Monifa thought Kenneka was behind her. I mean, at that point, it would seem pretty plain to me that they went to another hotel or they went somewhere else and came back. Then I kind of want to touch on the fact that I don't know if I should put that in another video, so let's hold that thought. All right, it's a lot of information that I'm trying to condense. So here's the thing. Other than not knowing who Ruthanne is, and I think that that's a very important piece to this whole situation, because this could be a whole nother individual that is being referenced. The other thing is this young lady, all right, you see this picture here. You see where the hair looks all crazy? That's when the chick, like, her hair transforms. If you look at the initial picture, it looks like the young lady has a sew-in when she's in the bathroom with a Monifa. So a sew-in, all right, like, but it looks like she has the top of her natural hair out. Then, you know how, I'm sure a lot of ladies know when you wear a wig, and if your hair's not flat underneath, it kind of gives that lumpy situation underneath. That's what it's kind of looking like in this photo. So I'm wondering if at this point this individual has a wig on. There's just so many different facets to this. And then when we look at the other picture where this alleged Kenneka was found in the freezer, it looks like somebody put a wig over her hair. So, man, listen, the thing is this. Did they just put another wig over her head so that, they could cover her neck? I mean, it's something about these pictures here in the elevator. They don't seem real. Then there's a video that's at the end of this with who's supposed to be Kenneka, and then there's a Snapchat filter, but I swear the face on that body, when it's supposed to be Monifa, Shamaya, and Kenneka in the car before this party, it looks like they took the head or face off of the girl who has that pink tassel dress that they're saying is Kenneka. Like they just put her face, they superimposed her face on this other chick, and then they put the Snapchat filter over. So I'm saying all this to say that I think the only link there is really finding out who Ruthanne is. As I said, Ruthanne is not listed in the obituary. Another thing that I found interesting when I was listening to Autopsy report being read by audio on Planet of the Fates. On the corrected report, it says that the patient's name is confidential. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, why would the patient's name all of a sudden be confidential? Then when I looked at page 13 of the autopsy report, it mentioned something about suddenly all these drugs in this individual's system. I mean, all kinds of barbiturates, like all kinds of stuff. So, my whole thing is this. It would make sense to me that the initial Kenneka that they're showing who's in the mirror, since there's only 2 pictures of her, maybe that's the real person that got killed. And then the other part is a hoax and they didn't expect it to get so big. I mean, I really don't know. But the whole purpose of this video is that to put that Ruthanne thing out there because nobody's really touching on that. I've mentioned it a couple times on other people's lives, but nobody has really gotten to the root of it. So after this, I just have so much to say, but I kind of want to separate the videos. I'm going to do a video... I'm going to do a couple of videos, but on Lenora, on the fact that there's no pictures of her with Kenneka when they were younger. I believe in that video where Lenora has on purple, that purple headband, and she does that one interview, that Ketta's behind her. I'll just do a whole nother video because some of you may not know who I'm speaking about. And then also, if you've watched Fact Check, she had a banging video the other day. Shout out to Fact Check because she had a criminal forensic analyst of some sort. And she was a woman named Tay, and she was breaking down each photo. And basically, she said a couple of things that really have my mind going. So that's going to be another video. But the point that I wanted to make there is that with the lady Tay, the forensic analyst of sorts, and I apologize if I'm calling her by the wrong title. She mentioned that there was another scrunchie in there in the freezer with Kenneka, and that it looks as though that there's another piece of hair, and that is not Kenneka's hair. It is someone's actual hair from their head. So in other words, it's not Kenneka's weave or wig. And that the other individual who she was possibly tussling with, that they had their natural hair out. The only 2 people who had their hair out by the looks of it was Lenora when she did the interview. I don't know if she had a weave when she was, at the day of this party. And Lenora is the sister. And Monifa. And then there's a couple people, whoever had a weave that had the top out with their natural hair, it's a possibility as well. So, and then also, I don't know if you guys caught it, but I didn't realize Lenora, the sister, was at the party, at the hotel party that night. This shit is just so crazy, but this whole thing with the elevator has just really been nagging me. I mean, yesterday I just could not stop thinking about it and looking at the photo because you know things aren't right, but it's just like, what the fuck is really going on? Okay, something else I wanted to touch on in this actual photo. Look at her left wrist, the alleged Kenneka. Doesn't it look like a totally different arm with the black band? We also know that the alleged young lady named Tanaja or Miss Walker, that she had on a black scrunchie on her wrist, on her left wrist, if I'm not mistaken as well. Then we see the right hand here in the mirror with the cup. And then we see who appears to be Shemaya with Monifa behind her taking a photo. Now, if you've been following this, you've probably seen the video where there's another young lady who looks like Shemaya. She's driving in one video, but then she's in the back in another video. And I'll do a separate video on that. But she kind of looks like Shemaya. And she also has, when she's driving at one point in one of those videos, I can't think of her name right now, but she has her phone. And it looks as though they're trying to get the alleged Kenneka in the shot at certain points. So I'm saying all that to say that it kind of looks like that here as well. But look at how this alleged Kenneka in this picture does not look like the one who we're about to look at in this next video. And I'm sorry if I'm jumping around. I apologize, but it's a lot going on. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. Shout out to Daily Crimes. I believe it was her Instagram that I found this photo at, and you can clearly see that these are not the same person. 6 different people or faces superimposed on other faces. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment below.